Wow. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Seeing Scarlet. We obviously have been giggling for quite a bit. And so honestly, all that to say, we got some good vibes. You can see here, Shelby, new location,
Where
Carmen
am
San
I?
Diego.
Oh, it says
Carmen,
where I am. Dang
oh
it.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, she told us in the caption if you're just listening, but Shelby's in Lubbock. She's in LBK, and are we
I
winning in
am.
all of our sports?
I am six.
Ironically.
I am 6-0 since I have
Oh,
entered Lubbock.
Shelby, you need to give the people what they want, and that is a
I'm
Lubbock,
gonna call it
Texas
seven
address.
and zero when you count the softball being the second ranked
Oh,
recruiting class in the nation as well. We're gonna count that as a
spoiler
dub as well.
alert. God, we can't get through any of this without just spoiling it all. Yeah, we have softball to talk about. We have soccer to talk about. We have volleyball, we have football, we have both basketball programs. The list goes on, y'all. But that's what we're going to be covering tonight. So thanks for joining us. We're in a silly, goofy mood, so just buckle up. And any last words, Shelby, before we do this thing?
No. Again, we're obviously recording I'm recording in a new location. If you cannot hear me at any time and you're in the chat, please just yell and I'll talk louder. But that's all
What
I got
about
for you.
me? What if I can't hear you?
You're in the normal spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. But yeah, let's get into it, y'all. First of all, my pitch to you is people that are starting at the beginning is we got a lot of Texas Tech sports in town again this week. Unfortunately, volleyball's out of town, but you got basketball. But soccer is in the postseason. You
Postseason,
don't get to
NCAA.
do what soccer is doing at home.
Thank
And really,
you.
most sports, it's like similar to baseball and softball, where you can have a chance to really go far in the NCAA tournament all at home.
Yes.
And fans matter. There was a nice crowd out there, as we'll talk about, and that was a tough game as we're going to get into. And you know that like having that energy from the crowd helps them keep going and keep hacking. So they have a game at 6 p.m. on Friday against Princeton. Great,
Second
great
round,
hockey
baby.
program. We played them, I think, back in 2019.
That was the
PKs,
Madison. Sorry.
The Madison White game.
That was
One
the
of the
Madison White year or entry.
Yeah, that was her
So
first postseason win until the one they got the other night because they hadn't been back since then. And then if they win that, that will get them to the Sweet 16 on Sunday. So
oh
there's
my
two chances, but get to both of them. We got to get that dub on Friday, or the Sunday game is not going to be
Yep.
us. And if you love soccer, UNC and Bama, who were both in the Final Four for soccer last year, are also in Lubbock this weekend because it's a regional. That's the way it works in soccer. This for the rounds 2 and 3, and so they're playing before us on Friday at 2:30. A ticket will get you into both games.
Dang,
See some
Shelby.
soccer.
What the heck?
What? I'm watching all the soccer on Friday, so get there for that. It'll be good. Get there, have fun. We won't be tailgating because there's a game going on beforehand, so I'll be watching soccer. Sibby, unfortunately, will not be there. She will be there Sunday afterward. They get the dub, though. But let's talk about it. We were both there. We got a group of people there on Friday for the Florida Gulf Coast game. What are your takeaways? We obviously won. Spoiler alert. We won 1-0, but
all Shelby spoil Shelby. That's I'll come up with a nickname later. Yes, Florida Gulf Coast. We won a 1-0, so a shutout. A really great game for Madison White, and honestly, a really great game for us. We just were. We were so persistent with our shots, and when we talk about this, and we have some clips of it too, like when we talk about these shots, it wasn't just like let's send something and see what sticks. Our gals were firing away. It was our classic, knock knock. We're knocking. Ashley's knocking. Giselle's knocking. Alex is knocking. Every single freaking, because that's what we do. That's what we do.
Even my girl Molly Skrzinski, president of her fan club, even she was out there hacking, having a game, girl.
Yeah, it's Madison. Come on, step up.
Yeah, only person out there not taking shots was Madison White. What are you doing back there?
How dare you, Madison? We talked to your mom before the game.
Oh yeah, I should have worn the shirts.
Huge shout out to Madison White, your mom, your whole family, brother and dad too, right? They were all in the parking lot. So it was just really cool to see of course the parents showing out, us showing out, and to have a really great competitive first round. Like this wasn't a layup, but this wasn't a PK. I'm trying to think of a better terminology for that. FGCU showed up. They were tough, and we didn't score until what was it, like the 78th minute?
78th minute, yeah.
And we don't. That's not how we roll sometimes. Like we like to strike. We like to strike fast, and that's kind of been tested in our later part of the season. But yeah, I'm excited to hear your perspective from the game, and it was cool that it was a night game. We got to be there, and yeah, it was hype.
Really wasn't that bad. It was a little chilly.
Oh, it was beautiful football weather.
I'm sure the team's like, excuse you, but I thought it was okay as a fan. It did rain for a little bit, and I think that might have affected the game a little bit just because the field was wet. But as far as our end, it really wasn't that bad. I personally thought it's the best we looked offensively and creating chances in a while. We were
tell me more.
I mean, Kylie Barr was having herself a
right
game.
Hi, girl.
I mean, literally, that girl could not stay with her. Anytime Kylie Barr had the ball at her feet, it was like, and then Kylie knew. She was like, bye-bye.
She was waving.
She would go right, left, around. Like, she was toasting her, and she almost made a shot. Like, she got to the middle. She toasted everybody so much. She had that clear space. I think we'll show the highlight. And she almost made the first shot of her first shot of her goal of the year. Like, just went wide left. I thought she was great. Molly Skrzyncki came out, and I was like, girl.
Molly,
like she's always good, but she's usually just hanging out in the midfield, just doing the dirty work, doing everything we need. She'll drop back, be the center back when Hannah's pushing forward. She'll move up when we need her to. She's just doing the dirty work. But Friday, she was out there. She almost had a couple assists, dropping them in like beautiful balls into the box. Took a couple shots herself. She was great. But yeah, I thought we actually looked pretty good. It reminded me quite a lot. I'm a story person, so of course this is what the storyline. It worked well, right? It reminded me quite a lot of that game we don't like to speak of, but that New Mexico game back at the beginning of the year where we looked great, right? We're like, oh my gosh, we love this. All these dynamic chances, all these balls in the box, all these runs from the outside, all these crosses over, and then we just weren't finishing them. And that keeper was like standing on her head and. Y'all remember that game and making these crazy, like, I'm like, is this how the season's going to go? My God. And then finally we got that late goal about the same time, about the 70th minute from Sam Courtwright. Freshman had a great goal. And then with about 2 or 3 minutes left to go in that game, New Mexico had a set piece and scored on what we called a mosh pit goal. And tied it because I did. I don't know. That's the thing, but I still use it. And anyway, so that game is a draw because you don't play overtime. This game, we get that late goal. We'll show their highlights.
Yep.
I kid you not. This Florida Gulf Coast team gets a corner with 3 minutes to go left in this game, and they send it into the box in the middle of another mosh pit. But this time we cleared it out. So if you want like a little cheesy, storyline bookend, like, we learned from that moment. It was literally a very similar game where you could have gotten really frustrated. You finally got the goal. You could have gotten too high and celebrated like we did in the first, and then kind of let off the gas a little bit and given up a goal in that moment. We didn't. So I thought if you're trying to look for that cool, hey, we learned from that moment, I thought that was cool as well.
Yeah, and that's like some of the best parts of what we have seen is like the stories behind, how much we've grown in this season. And I'll figure out my camera here in a minute, but I think really want to highlight what you said there. Like that's so symbolic of this season, and every single game that we get to play is just like we're witnessing the coolest history right now from this team. And to go back to talking about, us showing up and making sure that we're showing up for this team. They've already given us so many cool things for us to talk about and remember forever. Like I'm so stoked to be a part of, to witness how much they've grown. And you're totally right. I think this was a very similar game that it just proved our mental toughness and how much we have grown. And it's so cool to think back to like some of our first games and you and I talking about like the talent's there. It's just communicate. And they did. And it's like,
communication's not a problem anymore. Like they're so good at that now.
We are good.
I'm sure they have their moments, whatever, but it's not like it was like those goals. And yeah. So that was cool. We'll just start showing some highlights so y'all can see it if you missed it. But well, this first one, Sibby's just gonna come and go on us, y'all. Just bear with her.
Yeah, whatever.
There we go. This first one was pretty early into the game, and you could hear the crowd react. That was my favorite part of it. But Elise Anderson just megs this girl.
Oh, we confirmed it too.
Williams.
Yes. I think that may have been me.
That keeper make like, I think we had a conversation about this with the person I was watching this highlight with, and I was like, I think that might be Sue in the background. But yeah, just Elise was great in this game. She had a bunch over. That keeper makes that kind of gets her. She was great. She's just very aggressive in this game. You'll see this on this highlight. Yay, Elise. Doing what she does. She jumps out on that, and then Ashley gets it blocked. And you'll see the same thing happening here. I'm just going to turn it. Just watch chance after chance. That was Kylie Barr. Again, on one. That was Molly Skrzyncki into the box. See how she's coming out? She's so aggressive. Yeah. Later, when you see the goal, we use that against her. That's how we finally get the goal. But she was so aggressive coming out on all the balls, and that's how they stayed in it. Like, kudos to her. But we had so many chances. Here's Kylie again. Over. Just we had a lot of chances, and that was just a snippet of them, right? Like I know. There's
world
montage.
Class.
That first 5 minutes of the second half was like we just were living inside their box, and just so many good chances. And that's soccer sometimes, and you're like, man, I wish we could have finished them. I think Tom Stillman said after the game, like, we had a few easier chances, and then they go and finish that one that we'll show in a second. The one they finally get is like art between 3 different players, like a flick over the top. We'll just show it, but and then we'll read off the crazy stats, but you'll see it.
Peyton Parsons.
Peyton Parsons, and a flick from G.
Flip down in front of Kerr. Goal!
And you'll see that here's Peyton Parsons, a great pass over, and then this is just beautiful over 2 players. Perfectly to Alex.
That is talent, Giselle. Like, that is
she was
pure precision. Game. Like, I made a note about it of like Giselle has really been shining a lot in this, kind of later on in our season. And this season, this game in particular, like those 2 touches were absolutely, they had to be perfect. They had to be. So that Alex Kerr could make that connection. And of course, it's Alex Kerr. I think this is kind of like the first domino to fall, and I'm excited to think about her continuing in postseason play.
This weekend could be fun for Alex Kerr.
I'm saying, it's going to turn up. Let's turn up.
That girl from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Let her play her hometown school. But that was great. Again, we talked about how this keeper's been aggressive. Watch her. She comes out and tries to get that. And then we get to flick it over her head. So the reason she was stopping all these shots all game is she was being that aggressive. It finally bit her, and we were able to get it past her.
And good for honest. I'm thinking about this now that you had that brilliant analysis, Shelby. That was really good. The whole where we are now.
I learned from Bridget.
give me some dubs in the chat. But hit the clip again. Like you're talking about.
We have the cinematic version too.
Oh yeah. But like, Alex Kerr had to be really patient with this too, and think about like, okay, wait, I don't need to absolutely laser this. Like, she's reading, the keeper to see that she's going to jump off her line and that she is going to, play aggressively like she has been. And, Giselle. Oh, gorgeous. That's a better look for
talking.
Giselle.
I was just going to show that.
Keep running that through. But that's a better look for Giselle's 2 touches here. Like bap. Oh my goodness gracious! I tell you what, that's textbook. Anyway, like I love that it showed the patience that Alex Kerr had to have in order for that ball to make, because she stopped every single other shot that looked like a position, try to beam it past her. But you're totally right in exploiting what we knew that her strength was, and use it against her in a way. And Alex Kerr to have that patience is brilliant. I just saw a new level, and I'm so happy. This is great. And
and I thought we had the clip, but we don't. But there's another cool clip out there if you want to find it of just right before this, Sam Courtright almost had the goal, and I didn't notice it until I was rewatching the replay. I thought the keeper blocked it. I was like, this girl again. But this one, Sam Courtright gets past the keeper finally. It was a great typical Sam Courtright moment where she's juggling at the top of the box. The ball finds her off of her, kind of bounces off another player. She's juggling it, finds space, rips one.
Yep.
And we get a corner out of it. And I was like, oh, the keeper must have blocked it again. But it's not the keeper. She got it past the keeper to like kind of the right side. Naturally, there was an FGCU defender just standing there, and she didn't even move. Like, she did not have time to react. It just hit her in the leg, and it went off on the corner. So we had a lot of pretty really class moments in that that just didn't find the back of the net. So you hope that they come in confident against Princeton here on Friday, because I thought they played well. I've been traveling. I've been doing all the things. I haven't had a chance to watch the post-game presser with the coaches to know what their thoughts were, but I hope that it's similar in that I thought they played pretty good soccer. I thought a lot of them looked great. They looked fresh. They looked like they were flying out there, and and then they just kept fighting. At this team, I've never we were there with some people that hadn't really watched the team a lot. We just drug we tell y'all to do. We drug friends to the game. We do what we say.
Favorite thing.
Tell y'all to do, and they hadn't watched them a lot, and they're like, man. I just don't know if they're going to get it done, right? And I'm like, no.
Oh, sit down, sweet baby angel.
This is
allow
Texas
us.
Soccer.
Allow us.
This is what they
to
do.
Educate
just calm down. I don't know when it's going to come, but I think I was like, it's either going to be Alex Kerr one-on-one with the keeper, which is what it ended up being.
Bada bing, bada boom.
With the help of Giselle and Peyton, or Sam Courtright's going to do something crazy and it'll be fine. So we're going to be fine, and that's just the way this team plays, and that's why some teams like a UCLA, the number one overall seed or one of the number one seeds, loses a game that's kind of similar in fashion, where that other team finally gets a goal late, with 2 minutes to go or something, and UCLA could never find one. We are able to kind of push through those moments when the other team's just playing out of their mind defensively. Yeah. So, and this was another team that we and Bridget warned y'all this was going to be it, the way it was going to be last week, that this team was going to keep everybody back and just play for that. And they had some attacking moments. They had a ball go off the post where Shelby almost lost 9 lives on that.
All nine
of them got out the door when this ball went off the post that they were trying to counter on. And that's what teams were going to do. I hope Princeton plays a little bit more just straight up soccer. They're they're a seeded team as well. You think they will, but we'll get into that in a minute. But they did what Bridget said they would do, and tried to muck it up. And their keeper did exactly what you got to do in those games, and she kept them in it until Alex Kerr happened.
Alex Kerr, and that's what she does. She shows up in big times, and I love again that we're seeing what Hannah and Kylie and Madison told us in their interviews about this team is so deep, and we're seeing Peyton Parsons with a really impressive play and making that connection of this really tough mental game that they had to go up against in the first round of this tournament. Again, this is really cool stuff that we're getting to witness, and that pressure must be felt, but I am loving what I'm seeing from this team and how they combat that and what they're doing to prepare for it. And I love seeing the people that are showing up, and I hope that continues. And unfortunately, I'm out of town on Friday, like Shelby, you said, but you know where I would be. And that's Friday, 6 p.m. against Princeton. Princeton went 10-5-3 in their season, 4-2-1 in their conference play, Ivy League. And what I'm gathering from them, TBH, haven't looked anything really into them, because I'm one game at a time, baby. Yeah, I only care about my gals. Everybody else doesn't really matter. But a player to look out for, sophomore Pietra Toriden. She's very, very impressive, consistent, offensive player of the week. You're going to hear that name a lot. So I'm excited to see how our ever evolving, ever stonewall shut out defense, what we do, baby. I'm excited to see our Titans collide in that way. And so, who do we have?
Yeah.
Given?
Yeah, They had a similar game to us against Michigan. I didn't watch it. We had a lot more shots. I think they only got off like 6 shots or something, but one of those went in. We had 26 shots and 9 on goal. So we had a lot more chances than they did, but we both ended up with 1 goal, and I think it was a late goal for them as well. Maybe a little bit later than ours was, and they got it done against a Big Ten team. So I get the vibe it's going to be like similar-minded teams. I don't know that our offensive structure is the same because not many people play like we do as far as that does with the outside backs do, but as far as defensively, they seem like they've done pretty well on that. I can pull up the actual defensive ratings for people that are analytic nerds for you if you want me to do that.
I mean, go for it. I love that this game is a Friday night game, y'all. If you haven't been to a Friday night soccer match, it is a different vibe, and the colder the better, and it's more intense, but and then
so they're ranked 35th. This is Massey ratings for those that do or do not believe in it like it, but this is what I'm looking at. They're ranked 35th offensively, which is not that far from us. I bet we're in the 30s. We're 32nd, but where we're very much different is obviously we have the 10th rated defensive metric team in the country. Theirs is 88th. That also comes from playing the styles of play of the teams that they play in. Obviously metrics matter. They haven't played a lot of teams to be able to boost their defensive metrics either. So, but they held Michigan to no goals. So there you go.
That's true. And a competitive Michigan team that is no stranger to this tournament. So, I'm excited to be able to watch that from afar. 6 p.m. Princeton,
be there.
An important
somebody's got to go and be in place of Sibby. I don't know who's listening, but be like, that's my job.
Wait, what's that clip again? Where's that one that I think it's me yelling? Did you already delete it? I think you may have.
No, it's there. No, I haven't deleted anything.
Oh yeah, I want to. It might. Oh man, just pop that volume. Okay, listen closely. Does it sound like?
Right through Brutzer.
I was near you.
Oh no.
We were not standing near each other in the second half, but this part we were, and we were all saying, woo! We were all doing that, but I'm sure other people were too. I'm going to give you credit and say that it was you. We were near the crowd mic.
I love that
because I noticed it when we sat down. We were near the crowd mic, so it very well could be.
Yeah, it was a hype environment. And yeah, so rowdy. And I think I was like, I could see the connection. Yeah, the deflection, and I'm like, yes, there it is, because it's Ashley Williams.
Yeah,
and it almost, just was a little bit in the wrong place, but I mean, she was in the right place to make that attack.
For sure.
But the defenders just weren't having fun with us.
That's life, soccer gonna soccer. We dominated that game, 26 shots to 6 shots. We had 9 shots on goal. They had 1 shot on goal. They should have had 2, because I believe in soccer they have that weird thing where when you hit off the post, it doesn't count as a shot on goal. I don't understand that. Some of it makes sense. Anyway, they also had 1 off the post, so we'll give them 2 in Shelby's scoring system. But we pretty well dominated the run of play, if you will, and we got it done. And that's all you got to do. A win's a win, and I thought we played well. And carry that confidence over to the next game, and hopefully that'll show out on Friday. The weather, if that's why you didn't show up, the weather is going to be great. It looks like,
gorgeous.
As great as you can get in November. It's going to be nice weather. So get out there, come say, hey, I don't care. I said it on Twitter. I don't care if this is the first soccer game you've ever seen in your life. I really don't care. Or if it's the 500th, just get your butt there and enjoy some soccer and scream loud when you need to scream loud. Just Raider powers, they're welcome in any sport. So yay, soccer. We love you. We're going to keep, we'll do our thing. We'll be out there. And we'll keep hyping you up throughout the week. Everybody get there. If you're not there, what are we doing? NCAA tournament, Sweet 16, ticket punching ability, Friday night. Let's do it.
Like, yes, ma'am. Say less. I feel
like I'm in a cave in this.
You are, and I'm like, I feel like I'm about to go to into war. I could run through a wall right now, a cave wall. But
speaking of making you run through a wall,
oh my goodness.
How about
Yo,
Texas Tech volleyball.
Texas Tech volleyball,
I was so
dude.
mad I could not. I wanted to get into town in time to make it to their game in soccer, but couldn't do it. But they were playing on Friday. Well, first of all, Thursday night, they just dumped. We'll talk about that match first. They got off the schneid. It's been a bit since they've won, but they took out every frustration they possibly maybe did not have on West Virginia on Thursday night in the first match. Clean sweep.
Gosh.
West Virginia didn't get more than 15 points in a single set. It was 25-12 in set 1, 25-15 in set 2, 25-10 in the final set.
They're,
the
essentially
domination.
Dunking on them, and like how crucial of a time for that to happen. Like this sweep is what we have seen this team capable of doing. Like we know that they have that talent, and going through this rut of it's been tough to find a win in either the match or a set. And so to see this complete 180 and let me repeat these numbers: 25-12, 25-15, 25-10. We're not talking close at all. Like Texas Tech volleyball said, let's go. And did the damn thing. They did the damn thing.
You can call it a rebuilding year, whatever you want to. Whatever. But this conference has been loaded. There's been as many as 8 Big 12 teams ranked at the same time this year, which is wild. I think there's 5 this week because some of them beat up on each other this week. But they've played some really good ranked teams back to back, and that can be demoralizing. And they just got a chance to go out there and just have fun, and you loved it. And I think in that game, Emily Merrick, I got to watch this game. Match. Sorry. Emily Merrick was doing what she does in three sets. She got 11 kills. I think 5 or 6 of those came in the first set. She was out there
popping,
dunking on them, as Sibby likes to say.
Popping.
And she also had a career high in blocks with 5 blocks.
Oh my gosh,
for an outside hitter there. That's big stuff. So
Emily Merrick.
Emily Merrick doing what she does. She's been great all year. A nice little transfer for us from Tennessee. So it's been cool to see her do what she does. And then we transitioned to a 3:00 match on Friday, and this one was the stuff of legends. I went back and watched it at some point in the last 3 days. I don't know. Time, what is time? At some point I went through and watched that last set because it's crazy, as we'll get into. But so we start off just like we did on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Just basically the same thing, right? We win the first 2 sets, 25-16. Sound familiar? Second set's a fight. It's a battle, 25-23. But we're up 2 sets to none. Right. And you're like, oh, we're gonna sweep again.
We know this, yeah.
We did this yesterday. We'd won 5 sets in a row against the same team. That is, I don't care who you're playing.
That's tough to do.
It's tough to do. And so then West Virginia fights back, and they win a very close, we get to this match point. We get to 24 points, right? It has to go extended, and West Virginia wins that third set 26-24 to force another set. And then that one's close as well. It's 25-23. This thing was a battle. I wish we could just bring Erica on, who got to watch it in person as the high rider. She says it was legendary. She was legendary. And the legendary part comes, this is like
a movie. This is what movies are made of, y'all.
It truly is a movie.
Okay, so tell us the ending.
Back and forth sets. These last 2, we dropped 2. We got to go to the 5th set. And if you're not familiar in volleyball, the 5th set is only to 1st to 15 at this point.
That's right.
West Virginia comes out moving, and they get up to a 10-3 lead. They need to get 5 points in the time. We need to get 12. You want the math on that you don't go on runs like this. And we said, okay, whatever. And there were some errors. West Virginia's making some errors. We'll take advantage of them. We're going on runs. We're getting some aces. We're just clawing our way back in there. And all of a sudden you look up and you're like, holy goodness, we can win this thing.
We're in this thing.
And then we do. And here is, I got a couple of views for you.
And then we do.
And then we do. And this is a freshman. We talk about this team being young. This is the freshman back there, Cochran, with the ace to win it.
Let's go.
It's Cochran. Taking full advantage of these unforced errors late in the match from the Mountaineers.
Wow.
Look at that back corner. Boom!
It's Cochran. In! A match
like, no one thought it was in, but we did. We were already celebrating. And then here's the fun one from Tech. The dramatic recap. Freshman.
Oh my God! Like,
Raise your hand if you
gritty?
get down 10 to 3 in the 5th set, and come back. Raise your hand if you get down 10 to 3. We all have done it. Listen, that right there, that is hard to do. And you only did it because you allowed yourself to stay composed and stay in it and not let yourself get defeated. It's the only way, right? All the things that we've been fighting ourselves about all season, you were challenged on today, right? And you overcame, right? Really good, really good.
Tony G. What?
I loved it.
the
Loved it.
heck? Yeah, like
They-
what a. They won. Like
Got it
that's
right there.
Tony G, head coach, with that ending quote. Like, it sounds like, they have been struggling with that self-discovery, or like, I don't know if it's confidence or that the communication or whatever the case may be, but wow, that is a monumental matchup against West Virginia. And West Virginia is tough. Like, I no knocks against them. Like, that's a tough team, and especially given like where we were struggling to find a win really kind of anywhere, and besides like individual successes. And wow, like this is a movie. Like, are you the director?
It was great. I just can't.
let's-
I'm so happy for them. Like, that had to
Wow.
feel so good after the season that they've been fighting through. And they've all had moments, and they all had moments in this game. We'll show it here. Caitlin Dugan, just legendary Texas Tech
Let's
Red Raider for life.
go.
Like, put her name in the rafter. I don't know. I don't have that.
Do it.
She's been here. She's been here for 5 years now, and she got into the 1K kills club during this game. 1,000 kills in her career. They put this
I
nice
know,
little video together. I'll put us over here to get us back and you can watch it. Nice hype video for her.
That's who I am. I never take a day off. I fight
Like-
until I win. I'm a legendary champion. Nobody.
This
better.
video's got to be
Come against me,
5,000
test me
minutes
because I
long,
never let
because
her.
I know they have so much
this is what she
content.
does.
Feel it in my soul. I never settle
She's so
for less. I
impressive.
came to win the gold.
Oh my
Blood,
gosh.
sweat, and tears is what got me here. I fought against the best and never had a fear.
Wow. Good for you, Dugan. Let's go.
It's hype.
And you can see like in this clip just her snap when she gets to that height and the power that she has behind the ball. It's just good luck is the best thing I can say to anybody on the other side of the net. So it's so clear. This makes sense. 1,000. Good for you, Caitlin Dugan. Like, what a stamp in
Much
your
love.
career at Texas Tech. Like, that's a big deal, and what a cool way to celebrate it. Wow.
Yeah. Just some other stats from that. Reese Rhodes on
Tell
one,
us.
as always. She almost had a triple double in this game. She had 42 assists in this match, 9 digs, and a
Reese.
career high for 8 kills. And she's a setter, y'all. 8 kills as a
Reese.
setter is silly. And she also casually threw in 3 blocks. Her 42 assists also pushed her over the career assist total for 1,900. She still has a year left, so she could get to the 2,000 assist club next year, assuming she so chooses to use that COVID, whatever they call it now, that extra year. So she could be back doing it again next year. And she's been one of those, another Red Raider legend with us. Merrick had another good match in this one. 14 kills on 33 swings and a team high 0.30 hitting percentage. Like, just get it to her. It was going to be a point. So it sounds like.
All right.
Madison Gilliland, who has been playing in place of the injured Kate Hansen, who had such a great freshman season, but has been out for the last few matches. Gilliland has come in and shown her
Picked it up.
Had her own moments, and she did it again in this one, along with another freshman, Reagan Engler, who's been great all year.
Oh my gosh,
They both had 6 blocks. They led the team with 6 blocks. They're just an absolute wall there in the middle. And then Correa, Maddie Correa, just go back, listen to our interview, plug with her.
So
She's
good.
great, awesome. Led the team with 17 digs, as she does. But also shout out Abby Dickinson, a freshman on the team,
Oh my
Had
God,
12 digs
she's
herself.
been cooking this season. She's just been cooking. Like so many of these young talent on the team, but also like you're talking about to replace Kate, like a really powerful component of our team. Very similar to what we have seen from soccer is we're doing okay. Like our rosters, we have depth, we have talent, and we can pick up without any hiccups. And also seeing our consistent leaders like Correa, she's a consistent force on this team. And Reese Rhodes, like you were reading all those stats, and I'm like, I didn't watch the game, and I can envision Reese Rhodes doing every stat that you said. I was like, yes, I've seen her do that before. So like to have these consistent, consistent, but also people stepping up to the occasion. It's exactly what we have wanted to see from this team, regardless of the outcome, honestly. But it's so nice to see like cherry on top, baby, West Virginia, dub, like pop off, y'all. Pop it off. Oh, two cherries. Sorry. It's a banana split. Yeah. Anyway, so and also like achievements, that's really great. So Texas Tech volleyball on the road, so they're at Kansas State on Friday and Saturday, and then they come back home on November 22nd to go against Oklahoma. OU.
I believe that's the last chance you have to see them in person this year, and then I believe their next game is on the road at the vaunted Longhorns. So get to the USA on the 22nd to watch them play one more time, especially these seniors. We just talked about Dugan. It's your last chance to watch her play in a Red Raider uniform in that building, as well as some more of the other ones. I cannot speak today, guys. I'm sorry. As the other ones, just get there, watch them play. I'm bummed that they're not home this week while I'm in town. I don't get to watch them, but I'll definitely have them on. Friday it's going to be a little busy, but I'll catch the replay. We'll be at soccer. I'll be at soccer. Basketball's going on as well. Volleyball's on the road. So busy time of year for sure.
For you, like Shelby, you're having the time of your life, and I'm excited about it. I know everybody else is too. Really stoked that you're getting to see. You can figure out the template that I'm trying to mess with while I'm talking. But yeah, it really exciting, and let's show out. Let's continue to ride this wave. However long it'll take us, we'll get to see. And
let's keep it going. Go on there.
Speaking of riding the wave, Texas
basketball is back.
Yo, it's hoop season, y'all. So you think Shelby's doing some god tier work with everything else? Wait until you watch her. I was thinking about this, Shelby. Like we're getting close to the time, or we're kind of close to the time of when we started doing this thing. So now we started
talking about it.
Yeah. We get to compare notes of like last year when we first started covering this, doing this podcast and doing this YouTube channel. And I don't know, it's really cool now to see like Texas Tech women's basketball. We're 3-0. A win over Tarleton. Is it Tarleton State? Or
Tarleton
State. That's right. Okay, 70-63, and we also have notes about their win tonight against Lamar, and even just seeing, we're going to talk about it, of their growth within the year that we started covering them, Shelby, and now like from the first 3 games, we're like, oh shit, let's go, baby. So I'm excited just as much as you are. So let's talk about Tarleton, because that's where we got to go after soccer. So let's get into it. I know I got my players in mind of who I can't wait to hype up. So let's hear the stats and go through it.
Oh yeah, we can just get into the stats. We only got to see the second half in person, but first of all, I thought it was a pretty good crowd on Friday night when we got there. I don't know if a lot of people came over from soccer as well, but there was a pretty nice crowd out there on Friday night. So shout out fans for that. Sounds like when we showed up, Tarleton only had 12 points. It was like 26-12 or something and a half.
Right.
Our defense just keeps doing what it's doing. And then there was a bit of an offensive explosion for both teams in the second half. And I was like, well, I guess we showed up and they wanted to score. I don't know. I'm a big fan of defense, so I wish I had seen the first half. No, I'm kidding. No, it was great to see them play. And leaders, I'll just go through the scoring leaders and then you can do your thing. But Jordan Merritt, she had another good game, this time more so just scoring. 18 points, 3 rebounds. The first game She was all over the box score this game. She's just out there scoring 18
Oh my
points.
God.
She had threes, and she was scoring from all the different places on the court. Bailey Maupin just continues to just steady performance. She does it again. Her stat line looks the same every game, and this is what you love from your star players. And Bailey Maupin went 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block.
Yes.
Sophomore. Another sophomore. Fuzzy Shavers had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. And then Ashley Chevalier.
Ashley, oh my God. Go to war for you.
She's just one of those players, one of the most will not show up in the box score players you'll ever watch. I mean, she'll definitely get rebounds, she'll get assists, she'll get points here or there, but like people that are just going to look at a box score, you're not going to know who Ashley Chevalier is. You've got to get out to the USA. It's not even like watch them on TV, great, but you need to watch this person play there. She's great. She won the dominator of the game, the award that the team gives out because of her defense and her energy and everything. We'll show some clips. She was great that game, and she was great again tonight as well, as a lot of them were. So I'm really proud of her. Like, it's just good to see her get her moment, because go listen to her interview. She's a great human being, and she deserves this. And she's just that. She plays winning basketball, and she gets a lot of, I used to call them hockey assists, but now that we cover soccer, I say hockey and soccer assists. And I mean that in basketball, you don't get an assist unless you were directly the person that gave it to someone. In these other sports, you can get these what they assist. You get an assist if you were like the impact. So like the goal we just showed from Alex Kerr, Peyton Parsons, and Giselle Krasarski both got assists on that. That doesn't happen in basketball. Ashley Chevalier, if you watch her, she gets a ton of hockey/soccer type assists where she's the one starting the movement, the ball movement, gets it over to like Riley or Bailey or vice versa, and they pass it up to the top. So she does a really good job creating space and using space and leverage. Watching her in person, you can see that a lot. She's a true point guard. And that's the step you're looking for Bailey to grow into, is that ability to use the space and to see that that's what she's getting. She can see the floor and make the passes. Ashley, you can tell, has played that position for her entire life, and she knows how to manipulate that space well, which I love about her.
Let's get creative and name a stat after her for that stat. We'll refer to it from this point forward as the
Ashley assist.
Yeah, the Ashley assist.
We'll work on that.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a work in progress. Anyway, but you're totally right, and to see a lot of our players that we were really looking forward to the growth in like this season with Bailey Maupin and with Jordan Merritt, Shavers, and Ashley. I mean, this whole roster has just been exciting to see perform in this way, and we got some clips that we're gonna run through, and I think it's just really cool to see the growth of this team already, and with Tarleton State this being their second game of the season, and we'll talk about Lamar, but huge growth in between those two. So let's hit the clips.
In Tarleton State, for those that don't know, they have I'm blanking on his name. I'm sorry, this is really disrespectful because he's coached all over the place. He's been a really well-known assistant with Baylor back when they won their national championships with Kim Mulkey, and he actually spent time in Lubbock as well back during it. Was it with Curry? So he's been around, and he got that job. This is his first head coaching job at the D1 level, but he's been a well-respected assistant around the game of basketball. So he recruits well. He brought in a ton of new portal players and freshmen. Like, that's a different team than it's a good team. It's a solid team, and will be as they keep growing, a good program. And they actually scored 100 points in the game prior to this. And so to hold them to 12 in the first half, we got it. In Zuri Sanders' plug, go listen to her interview. She talked about that. We got to get better at 4-quarter efforts. And as their endurance is better, they're playing really exhausting basketball. They're playing full court press. So maybe they're just getting a little bit tired in the second half. But as they get their endurance up, they'll be fine there. But
Bill Brock.
Bill Brock, yes. Bill Brock. Look him up. He's going to build that program. They're recently D1. Tarleton was D2 for my entire existence. Cool. Tarleton is the closest college to me. I almost went there out of high school. So I know that program well, but they were D2 for years. So now they're D1 and they're making that jump. Shout out them. And I'm sure he's going to get them become a nice little basketball program there. And to start this game, I went back and watched it because, again, we didn't get to see the first half. And I was like, LOL. The first right out the gate, you get to see Ashley Chevalier and Bailey Maupin. They have a nice chemistry that they're building. This is also clearly, well, my opinion is this appears to be a set play, but still you see their chemistry on it.
Well, they didn't extend a lot of ball pressure in the second half against UTRGV because it got
It's nice. So I'm not like Bailey. One of the reasons we talked about, like, I love her being a primary ball handler if Ashley's out of the game. But one reason she's great off the ball because that's what she's used to. She's great at back cuts. And so last year she would make a lot of back cuts and we just didn't get it to her. And so this to me, again, I don't know for sure. This looks like a set play to me. I say that because watch how quickly Ashley turns her head and Bailey hasn't even cut yet. So that to me says that they've been running that set practice and they were planning that to be the first set. That was going to play the first play. You. So it wasn't like when I say they're working well together, it wasn't like an instinctual like Bailey's going to cut thing. I think she actually just knew she was going to cut. But they also play really well together in games, and she knew the speed in which to get that pass and all that, and they just play off each other well. So I love that.
I'm looking at this as you're talking about it, and so like if you're with me in the way of like what is Shelby even referring to, and like seeing this chemistry. No, I love this because now I'm able to like dissect it and I see exactly what you're talking about. Of like Ashley pulls up, she's turning her head looking, she's waiting for Bailey, and Bailey recognizes that in like a second, like less than a second, and to make that cut and be there. And you're right, I think it's that chemistry is brewing and the athleticism, all the wheels are turning with this play. And these are the plays that I get so stoked about because it's so foundational. That is basketball, y'all. Like that is the fundamental, like why if you love the sport of basketball, truly, this is it. Here you go. Exactly. And we have so many clips of this. Like this team is looking beautiful in a lot of different ways, and I can't wait to talk about it more.
Yeah, that was just one of the examples to show that, but they're going to be fun to watch. And again, that also illustrates what a good set play builder and drawer Gerlich is. Because again, I think that was drawn up. That was not done. You're a soccer person. That was not a run of play. It was a run of play moment, but it was a set play in basketball.
Is that a set piece?
There you go. That was a set piece for you that they practiced all week, I'm sure, and they came out and did it as the first play. But they do that stuff naturally in the game as well. So if people have not been watching this team, a staple of this team this year that has not been a part of past years in the Gerlich era at Texas Tech, this is something she did at previous stops. She just has not had the right personnel to do it yet. She finally has the personnel to run kind of that havoc full court press defense. We have these long players, and this clip is from Tarleton, and it's not two clips together. It's literally two back-to-back possessions. We get two steals off of our press, and I just love it. I think the first one is actually Ashley Chevalier and Bailey Maupin, of course, combining on defense, but the next one,
chemistry.
Kyla's involved.
20 turnovers in game.
Look at Ashley sneak over, perfect timing on the trap.
You got some of your early games,
and then Bailey
play with people.
Smooth.
Bailey did that again tonight. We have some clips. She's like a free safety in football out there. That position when you're, I've done that before in a full court press. That is such a fun place to play in a press. Is you get to just read it, and then just Kyla is an absolute menace on full court press. Imagine trying to bring the ball up, and Kyla Freeland and her arms and her height and her ability, and then Ashley Chevalier, the best defender in the Big 12, just roams over just to help her.
You're
like, unfair.
Blood's in the water. Like you're a sitting duck. Like that, all of that makes so much sense, and you can see it play out because of that hustle and because of her athleticism. And I love that this is a full clip. Like we're still going, and
literally back-to-back plays. I saw it and I was like, okay, well that explains why we held them to 12 points in the first half.
It is so good. But yeah, you're right with Ashley, like timing that perfectly. Dude, she's like, I mean, like,
that's a skill.
Stalking your prey. She's timing
instinctual. She knows when to go over there. She doesn't.
I love that. And that, I mean, we're going to talk about Ashley, I think, probably forever at this point in the season. But I love watching her play. Like you talked about defense being so fun, and Ashley's just like predator, like top of the apex predator. She's on point, and let's keep cooking. Is that a bad example?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't watch those movies, things, so I'll take your word for it.
Thanos. Batman.
That guy. Yeah.
The Joker. Anyway, let's move forward. Shelby, you're getting off track. But we'll keep it.
Okay.
We'll keep it 100. Let's talk about Saga.
Jordan Merritt.
Jordan Merritt.
Saga did have a 3 in this game. Shout out Saga. We don't have that clip, but she did have a 3.
Good for her.
East side. But Jordan Merritt also had a 3 in this game. You get to see Jordan Merritt's ability to stretch out. Again, she plays the quote unquote 5 for us, but she can do it all. And you'll see it here. She led the team in scoring.
Freeland says come this way.
Good to see some ball movement.
Creates that distance.
Clock at 5 on top.
They say
Merritt lets it
they
go.
say she won't.
Got the 3.
They said she won't.
They haven't read the scouting. If you don't think Jordan Merritt can shoot, you haven't even read the scouting report. So that's good to see. If Jordan Merritt can hit the 3 consistently in the 30% range, I mean, she hit it 40% her sophomore year, but if she can do 30, I'll take it all day. I
love how low key we are about this when this is really good news for this basketball team.
Bad news for other teams, good news for us.
Jordan has looked on fire. There's a reason why she's on those watch lists. There's a reason why people are having to scout her out, and she's dangerous. I'm excited to continue to see her growth, but it's such a good sign of her being a transfer into this program, and we're doing some new things this season with Coach Gerlich's era and a full, like you talked about, a full resource, a full personnel era of giddy up. We're starting to find our identity, I think, in these earlier games, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah. Amen. So that was that game. I could keep talking about it, but we had 2 games. I just came from the other one. I was just in the USA, so we sprinted over here to do this one. And Lamar is who they played tonight.
Yeah.
And Lamar, I had people telling me this was going to be a close game, and I was like, okay. They're like, just prepare yourself. Lamar is a good team, and I know that. Texas Tech played them 2 years ago. We went to overtime with them 2 years ago. It's a good program. It's a good program. And so I was coming in there ready for a fight. I was ready. It's going to be and it started out for a little bit there. For about the first 5 minutes of the game, it was a back and forth little battle, and then we just took over defensively. And Lamar is a really good defensive team too. So this was kind of a knock. We were not getting easy shots.
Nothing was easy
at all outside of when we created off turnovers, and we still won 61-44 because in large part to our offense or our defense and our ability to rebound and just be scrappy and make the plays and the shots when we needed to. Stats wise, let's see, leading scorer Jazzy Shavers did what she does. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 count them, 4 steals.
What?
Our teams, everybody on this team is going to break career records for steals because we're playing a full court press.
Yeah.
So they're all just going to be wrecking havoc this year. You love it. You love it. She was great. I put a tweet out there. I wish I had the clip. Maybe it's in the highlights we'll show, but I don't think it was. But she made this defender question, why she joined a basketball team. Why did I pick up a basketball instead of any other sport? Because it was a layup, but she was waiting to take the charge, and Jazzy was like, no, and then juked this girl out of a charge taking position. And then she tries to recover, and then Jazzy's just messing with her and just lays it up at that point. So she just has that shifty Bree Scott type player to her. Yeah. We have a good combination of Bailey and her are both scorers, but they're a little bit different type of scorers. You know what I mean? Then you have Riley McKinney, who's just a straight up shooter. And then you have Jordan Merritt, who can do it everywhere. So it's cool. The facets of this team I think it's well rounded offensively. As they get more cohesion and chemistry together, you'll see more seamless offense. There wasn't a lot of that tonight, but when we ran set plays, as we'll show, Gerlich draws them up. Whoever's drawing them up, they're great every time. So they're going to get better there. But really, I thought 61 points against Lamar, who's a solid. They were trying to full court presses as well. It wasn't working, so they had to back out of it. But their half court defense was pretty good, and they even had a little bit more height than us at times in some of their lineups, and that's a good test for us because
we know
we are going to come across teams that have height advantages over us in conference. but we did what we kind of hoped is like, okay, cool, you're going to put that person out there. Well, we're going to full court press you. Can that big handle that? And at times that Lamar big could not. So that was cool to see for sure.
Yeah, getting to see like the depth of this roster, and Logan Johnson and Saga having a good game. Seeing like Kelly Mora get her first collegiate rebound. Like our gals are getting minutes, and the lineups are changing, and it's cool to see the different combinations, the different identities. Alina Enrique, like, girl got a three. I'm trying to pull up the stats, but
yeah, she can shoot the three. Don't let her fool you. She's a 3-point shooter.
Jasmine Lewis getting some minutes too, and coming through, and so I'm of course it's what you like to see, and I love that we're getting some of the past last year's season involved with this year's season too, of Coach Gerlich's set pieces. Coach Gerlich's drawn up plays are, like you said, they are good all the time. That we knew that last year. We knew that for forever with Coach Gerlich. So having this team being able to execute it, it's beautiful.
And in past year's teams with Vivian Gray and then Bree Scott and we really just had to set piece people to death. And that's how our offense was, because we could not play the style we are now, where we couldn't play. That's what I always said. That was our offense last. Set piece people to death, hand it to Vivian at the end of a shot clock, or hand it to Bree Scott. Show you the score, pass it out to Bryn Gerlich, and that's fine. That's a form of basketball, and it works. And we were able to get the W in IT doing it. It's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is a completely different style of basketball, and I think this is the style of basketball Gerlich wants to play. It's what she's done at past stops. And we just don't play the same style, but it's nice because when you need a set play now, you haven't used them all day, right? You can just pull those out of the bag or start the game with them like they did in the clip we showed. So it's a good mix. A lot of our points are coming off of the press. That makes you not have to sit there and go to the shot clock. Something they did tonight, though, really well, is we're sitting there like, man, they're passing up good shot after good shot. And you're like, man, someone shoot the ball. But 2 or 3 times they were confident in themselves, and they found Bailey Maupin in the corner for a 3. They found Riley for a corner and 3. They got it down to Jordan. She made one move, got an easy shot right at the end of the shot clock. So,
oh my goodness.
Like, where we're getting impatient as fans, they know they're running the clock when they need to, and they're playing fast when they need to. They're playing for the most part, under control. There's definitely growth to be had there. But I loved it. You mentioned Logan Johnson. We'll just play these highlights in a second, but you'll see Logan Johnson throughout these highlights. I think this was her best game of her career so far. 3 games in. She's had great moments in all of them. I thought she was great tonight, all over the place. And she, I don't know who, it doesn't matter, but she's going to keep getting more minutes. I'm just saying, she's going to be a problem. She made her first 3 of her career. Logan Johnson starts hitting 3s. Sucks to be you, everybody else. And she's capable of that. She did that in high school, but she's going to have a different ballgame. Consistency, But her defense is she's already instantly one of our best defenders. And she's a freshman, and she just does such a good job of moving her feet. And for someone as strong as she is, it could be instinctual to just grab people and try to manhandle them on defense. She doesn't get a lot of touch fouls. I think her fouls were trying to take charges, and she should have been a charge, and they gave her a blocking foul a couple of times. But I was really impressed with Logan Johnson tonight, and she's becoming really fun to watch.
I know. Yeah.
A freshman, y'all.
I know. I was about to say, like her first year, and like in her first couple of games too, like we're seeing that, we know that she's powerful enough. We know that she's fast enough and skilled enough, like all of these things. And it's like, how does she calibrate now that her power and her strength to the college game? And she's doing that. She's making those adjustments sometimes in the minutes that she's in, and like you said, she's going to keep getting more, and we're going to keep getting to see like, dial it up, Logan. And she has been. She showed us, and like, believe it to be real until she gives us a reason not to, and that girl's showing up. So turn it up, Logan. Can't wait. Dial it to 20. Yeah.
And she doesn't seem frazzled out there, which you like from a freshman. She makes some freshman moments, but it's not like out of control. Usually it's just a step slow here or there because she wasn't expecting them to get there that fast. But that stuff is like, she'll have it fixed by 4 games from now.
I know. By 4 p.m.
I'm concerned. Yeah. We obviously this game just ended, so we didn't have time to go out and crop a lot of separate highlights. This is the full highlight package that the team posted, so we'll just run it.
Let's run it. Oh. Yeah, and we can
skip through the beginning. We don't need the intro package. Here we go.
Yeah. Ooh, oh yeah, the energy too, especially towards the end of the game.
I think you have to unmute it. It's not letting me unmute.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you
control
wanted
the video.
to talk over it.
We can just talk over it. You can mute it. Actually, that's fine.
No, let's put it. We'll put it at a little low volume. How about a little bit of both?
There's Logan Johnson's first 3 that we talked about. Clean.
Hey. Do you want me to replay?
The press. Bailey Maupin playing free safety. You get Bailey Maupin in the paint. It's over 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I don't know if she's talking about that, but Alita hits her 3. Pretty. She keeps getting her legs under her because she hasn't had a lot of full go practice time. She's gonna easy. This thing at the end of the shot clock I was talking about. That was with a second left on the shot clock.
She holds it. Jordan Merritt with the cross. Are you kidding me?
Jordan Merritt needs to. I mean, she could do that anytime she wants. Anytime she wants, she has that.
We will pay. Get that out of here.
Alina said,
"Get that out of here. Get that out of here." Oh,
Defensive
is this
player
when
of the year.
the is this the bank?
This is a set play with 2 seconds left. Buckets. Banked. Nice little set play drawn up in the timeout with 1.7 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm going to pause it, actually.
Do it.
The reason there was 1.7, they didn't put this clip in the package. For those watching, am going to find it tomorrow and post it on its own. Because it is like Texas Tech basketball. I'm talking Texas Tech, any sport. It's what Texas Tech fans love. It's what any basketball fan should love. Before that moment, if I remember correctly, is where we turned it over at the top of the key. The ball's a little bit loose. Ashley Chevalier sees that it's loose, and she doesn't just run back on defense. She Superman dives herself in the midst of this scrum, slides across the court, gets the ball, knocks it off of this player's foot so that it stayed our ball. And because the other team never had possession, we didn't get the shot clock refresh or whatever, so we only had 1.7 seconds left, but she stopped that from being a turnover and a break, and then really got us 3 points out of it in the end. And that's Ashley Chevalier all game, all day. That does not show up in the box score. It was not in the highlight package. I'm going to find the highlight and post it tomorrow myself because everyone needs to see it if you didn't see it. It was just quintessential winning basketball. And we have a lot of players on this team that do this. I saw Bailey Maupin get on the floor a lot tonight. Bless her. She's going to need an ice bath. And a lot of players do that. But
makes me think of Big Cat.
Yep. Big Cat was great about that last year, and they learned from her for sure. So anyway, we'll continue it. But that moment was set up because of that play. It would never have happened.
It's huge. Another 3. Jazz. Let's go.
These traps. Oh, SWAT. No.
Beautiful.
This is all one play, and it goes right down, and Kylie gets an and 1.
Coast to coast, baby. Let's go. Ow! Give me that energy every time. Oh, beautiful.
That was
fake.
Easy money.
Beautiful
You're gonna stop Bailey Maupin in transition?
Oh my goodness.
You just want us to score? You ain't gonna get anybody in front of her? Yeah.
Good putback. Jazz Lewis. Let's go.
Jazz Lewis, yeah. She had some. She blocked a shot in this little run here. She had an assist in this little run here.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the whole game. Honestly, if we watch every clip. Oh yeah, this is where Lamar really applied that pressure and that press to us, but getting out of it with ease and making him pay.
Yeah, Jazzy was really good in the second half.
Yeah, that pull up is huge. Let's go.
Yeah, just good stuff. Good stuff all around from them. It's fun to watch them play defense. I don't Gerlich said before the season, we're going to be a good defensive team, and I'm just going to believe her at this point. We're 3 games in. That's 3
Give us a reason not to.
3 games in a row where we have not allowed, this is just a stupid stat. It sounds made up. 3 games in a row where we have not allowed more than 15 points in the first half.
Unreal.
like people get 15 points in one quarter. And we're that like it would be like cool for like, yeah, we've only allowed 12 points in every first quarter. You're like, okay, that's solid. It's not bad. We can live with that. 15, 12, 14. I don't remember what the first game was. All less than 15 or lower in all 3 games. Teams are scoring a little bit more. They didn't score all that much more in this game. This was our best second half performance as far as defense goes this year, which you love. And again, you're going to see obviously different people are coming into the game as well. You're not playing your starters full go the whole game as well in these blowouts. That contributes to that a little bit. But as they get their endurance up and get used to this press more, and they're going to be able to do that for a full game. By the time conference gets here, there's a lot of really dynamic bigs in this league. We get it, but we're going to
we look great.
Freaking havoc. Nobody in the Big 12 is going to want to play us any night, no matter who they are, because they're going to be like, God, we got to play that Texas Tech defense.
They're pesky.
You're already in their minds when you can put this on film. You're already in their heads. Listen, I played basketball. Nobody likes to play against a press, really. Like
That's
a
true.
good press. Like
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Do that. Like you could be like the best whatever and you're just like, oh, that's going to be annoying. It's just annoying. Even if you know you're going to break it every time, it's just annoying.
It is.
And so that is a mental thing that I love. We're already doing it. We're putting it on film and we're just keep doing it. So they're going to get better at it. And those set plays and the offense stuff's going to keep coming. Lamar's a good defensive team again. So I saw some fun stuff. Oh, I think we have one more clip or a couple more clips. What is this?
Oh yeah.
I have the clip. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
That I need to add to the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's Ashley Chevalier, out to Riley McKinney. But watch her, shortest girl on the court. Own it. Goes up amongst the trees. Who's gonna get that rebound?
Amongst the trees.
On the court with a rebound.
And then gets it out.
The offensive.
Got the
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Cool moment.
Hold on. Can you play that clip again?
Yeah.
And maybe let me get this tattooed on my eyelids. Like, I watched this game. I watched it, and this doesn't get old. It just feels just as fresh as it
doesn't.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that.
And then she recognized, okay, this isn't a good look. Let me kick it back out to Riley freaking McKinney. Ice in her veins.
You got Riley McKinney wide open. That's 3 points. I was standing up. The ball was being passed around. I was like, that's 3.
That's 3. We in.
3 seconds later, it's in.
Beautiful to see.
Love that from her. But there's a lot of plays like that throughout the game. There was so many clips. The highlight package was 3 minutes long. It didn't even include those. It didn't include that diving play. That's how many cool moments were in this game.
Truly.
And if you get out to games, I think we have a tweet that's like getting shared around a lot that was a reply tweet. So, but I'm glad people are buying into it. Someone said that they were disappointed in the attendance tonight, and I just replied, I get it, it's Monday, but I just replied, yeah, attendance is going to be a work in progress, but I really like what we're seeing. There was a good student contingent, and I'm really happy that Raider Riot is seeming to get more involved with the women's program.
Totally.
That's great to see. And it's basically just, you got to get people in the door. If you actually like basketball, basketball is just basketball. You have more than 1 or 2 times a week, depending on what the men's schedule is, to watch basketball in the Spirit Arena. You have sometimes 4 chances to get out there. And I think as you get more people, there's there's a really loyal contingent of Lady Raider fans, and they're great, and they're always there. We just got to keep growing that student fan base and get that student bowl full, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to happen because they're going to start hearing about it because this team is just gritty and they're fun to watch. So yeah, that people are sharing that. That's great. I love that. Get to the games. Their next chance. There's a lot going on at Tech Sports right now. Eventually, this is going to be the show in town as the season progresses. But on Friday, they play at the exact same time as soccer. If for some reason soccer is a quick game, maybe I'll sneak over and catch the end of basketball again. But pick your poison. If basketball is what you want to do, go support them. Go do your thing. Go watch them play at 6 p.m. on Friday against Texas A&M Commerce.
That's right. Yeah. Same time as soccer. That's tough.
I wish I could be there. I just can't, NCAA soccer, I got to go out there for that postseason soccer. So I got to do the thing, but you know how much I love basketball. I'll be watching the whole game. I'll rewatch the whole game before we do the live show. Don't you worry, little hearts.
If they don't know, they know.
I don't know why they're watching our show, but
truly
the
don't have
people
any
listening
words for
will
them.
know.
I know they're like, who do we need to call? Who do we need to write? But yeah, lots of excitement going around in a lot of different ways, and that doesn't stop even with the sports that are in season. Dude, I cannot wait for you to tell them, Shelby. Texas Tech softball, again, another sport that was really early in our Seeing Scarlet career. We were already
second sport to cover.
They were already just like a monster and just grinding and breaking records and doing the damn thing. Like, Shelby, tell the people what W do we already have?
I tried to warn you. Did I not say
you did
in the spring? I said, I kind of feel like softball is the closest program on campus that can go from just being not really, they're just fighting, to being a contender really, really, really quick.
Yeah.
What did they go and do this offseason in Coach Snyder's first full offseason? He just signed.
It ain't
the number 2. It's never an offseason for Coach Snyder. It's not. That guy's working all the time. He just signed the number 2 ranked recruiting class, not in the Big 12, not in this state,
Mr. Will,
in the country. Although coincidentally, it is the second in the Big 12 because of OU being first in the nation by a wide margin. They have like 700 total points.
I mean,
next is like 490. But to be up there with Florida State, OU, Alabama, Texas Tech, just being on that list already helps you in recruiting as it is. Just be like, Texas, what's going on in Lubbock?
Top 3?
You know how many heads were turned when that was dropped the other day? And we've seen it coming because we've seen these people moving up the charts that we've had signed. You're like, they're up to what now? And then you're like, we have 6 or 7 of these. Like, what? We got to have a high class, but I did not expect it to be number 2. We got kind of tipped off that was going to come. So I was waiting all day Friday for them to announce it. Really excited to share that because that's really hype. And if softball's a really fun sport to watch. It's really close. The bases are close. Everyone's close. There's a lot of high reaction plays, and he's recruiting some athletes, which we'll get into. But yeah, I'm just hyped for this program, and I don't know what expectations to put on him this year. Obviously, these people are showing up next year, but he had a good portal class. He has a good group of returners, including the freshman of the year and Kelly Wyckoff. So there's a good contingent of people here. But go out and support him this year. We're going to list off all these recruits. Don't worry. But the future is bright. Just be patient and enjoy the ride. Like, I don't know what they're going to do this year. I would not be shocked at all for them to go crazy and make the postseason. Not at all.
Book it. Like, how can you listen to that and not? Like, I have so much faith in this, and I am so stoked for Coach Snyder and like what he is doing. And I for people that don't know, like, Oklahoma softball is queen, and I say queen because that's the most powerful thing about like that state. Like, it's a dynasty. Like, to be second to them is really telling. And of course, we don't like to be second, but it's a really important message, and I think of what Coach Snyder is building. And let's talk about these signees and like who we have to look forward to. And it looks like we have some quotes from Coach Snyder too, which what we know about Coach Snyder, well, I'm not going to speak for you, but what I know, I think about Coach Snyder and what he's proven with these recruits in a lot of different ways and current players is like he's really invested in them and how they can make an impact, but also just getting them back to the basics of like, why do you love to play this game? Okay, let's amplify that to your strength. And so I love hearing what he sees about these players, because it's just like it's a coach way of saying like a really cool piece about these people.
Yeah, I agree with that retweet. He's fun. He's built a fun staff. The whole staff is good at what they do. And they brought in 7 total players. We'll start with Brinley Gonzalez, who was a late signee. We talked about her in a show earlier this summer. She was an Oregon State commit, I believe, but we got her to shift to us there in the summertime. She's actually originally from Lubbock. She was born in Lubbock. At some point in her life, moved over to Aledo. That is where she grew up there, but she is from Lubbock. She's coming back home. She's the 11th overall pitcher in the class. I think she maybe goes both ways, but she's known for her pitching. 11th in the country as a
That's hype.
pitcher. Listen, the top 3 probably all went to OU. And so like, it's like, if not the top 10, you know what I mean?
Take those 3 automatic.
Yeah. And you'll hear that a lot. I think we have 3 of the top 20 pitchers in the country in this class. So pitching is the growth need for this group.
Mm-hmm.
And he addressed it. So she, from Alito, Snyder said, I've known Brindley for some time now, and I'm excited she will be wearing the double T across her chest. She has a devastating, not just a devastating changeup and keeps hitters guessing. I know how much Sibby was obsessed
I love
with the
him so much, dude.
Watching Off Speed last year. It sounds like you're going to get that in a couple of years when she's in Lubbock.
Yes, that's the best part for me. And you know what? I didn't know softball that much until I started going and watching them play. So lots of updates to the field to get us there. So I'm excited too to see the change up in real life, and it looks so cool. I can't wait. So who's next?
Yep.
Tell us more.
Kylie Huffman, the 19th overall outfielder in the class. There's a lot of outfielders. There's 3 outfielders on the field at one time, and think of all those seniors. She's the 19th best one in the country. So
amazing.
Yeah, from Allen, Texas, Snyder says Kylie has an explosive bat and she's a lockdown center fielder. I would assume that means she has some speed, but plays center field. She can compete straight away for playing time and is a great addition to our outfield unit. So he expects her to come right on campus and fight for a spot for Kylie Huffman.
No kidding. Explosive bat sounds familiar. What we do on this team.
It's right in.
It's par for the course. So welcome, Kylie. That's exciting to, continue to. And I love lockdown center fielder, dude. How can you hate out from outside the club? You can't even get in.
No fly zone. That ball, you gotta get hit over the fence if you're gonna not gonna hit it out here.
Amazing. All right. Well, speaking, keep it. Who's
speaking of lockdown defense? Cassie Johnson, I believe, is the one we talked about a few weeks ago because she's recent and she had like a 1.9 pop time or something, which is stupid. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure this is the same player because it's the only catcher in this class that we talked about a few weeks ago. Yes. She is the 17th overall catcher in the country from Des Moines, Iowa. And she's a true catcher. We talk a lot about players that say, like, I played catcher, and she's a catcher. That's what she's going to come in and do. She's a catcher. She's a great defender, and she can hit. Snyder says a phenomenal catcher, actually. Correct myself.
How dare you?
Phenomenal catcher and bat. She is one of those rare catchers that can play defense at a high level and hit for power. Cassie was a great pickup for the ball club. Such a softball, baseball thing to say.
I was like, is it 1940, Coach Snyder? Like,
you're way too young.
A league of their own? Like, it's a ball club now.
The ball club.
Great things to hear. And again, like, yes, our players that have had to stretch and play different positions and show up for the team in a variety of ways. It is such a nice feeling knowing, like, Cassie, keep doing you, girl. Like, this is great. This is your home. Let's see what you make of it. So 17th overall, like, I think we're going to keep hearing that phrase overall.
Yeah.
Insert like really high number.
Single one of, we got 7 players. Every single one of them is top 20 or higher at their position.
So it's like adding up, which moves us on to Samantha Lincoln. Tell us about Samantha.
We've talked a lot about her on this podcast because she's been getting awards. She was like the Max Preps Player of the Year in the state of Massachusetts as a softball player last year. Just a great pitcher, 17th overall pitcher from Brocktown, Massachusetts. I really want to know what that connection is. I'm sure we'll talk to her or Snyder at some point and can ask that. Like, when the Texas ones make sense, right? But I'm like, Massachusetts, Des Moines, Iowa. Like, what is the connection there? And I know that Snyder's been all over the place in his coaching career, so I'm sure that's part of it. But she is a great pitcher. Snyder says Sam is a presence on the mound. She's a left-hander, I believe. Yeah, we'll have the ability to bring the heat from the left side. I cannot say enough about Sam's ability to power past hitters, but also create weak contact.
Ooh, I've never thought about that before, of like creating weak contact. Because tell me more about that. I've never heard that before.
So you can be, it sounds like she can do both, but so You could either be a pitcher that just strikes everybody out because you're getting the ball past them because you have crazy heat on your pitches or crazy movement on your pitches. You could be like a Greg Maddux type in baseball, which means nothing to you, but people listening, where maybe they don't have like a crazy high heat fastball.
Yeah,
but they're crafty enough to, and they can they can place. I'm assuming she can place her pitches. She's cheeky.
Okay.
She just probably has good placement on her pitches. She doesn't put it in the middle of the plate very often. She is a good job of changing her speeds. Has a lot of probably I'm assuming different types of pitches to keep them guessing, and so that when they do make contact, she might not get all the swing and misses. She won't always strike them out, but when they make contact, it's weak, and our defense can just make a play.
Scoop it up.
Because hard hit balls,
are hard, tougher
hard
to
hit
defend.
balls. So that's what that means. She's not only going to strike out people, but hey, if they do get their bat on it, it's not going to be. It's not.
We can take care of business.
She's just a good pitcher. That's the short way to say it.
I like the spark notes of it, but I also like. I haven't heard that term before used in that way, and it makes sense, but it's cool to hear that she like is able to have that precision and know those places where to put the ball. Like these are good things to have. And also, interesting connection with Massachusetts. We'll have to get our Seeking Scarlet glasses on for that interview. But let's move on. Who do we got next?
This one, Bailey Lindemuth she's a big time recruit. She plays, she's the 11th overall pitcher in the country. But she also hits. She hits just as well as she pitches, right? They couldn't rank her at both, I guess, but her ranking says 11th overall pitcher, but she's also can swing it at the plate, and she had a lot of schools after her, and she comes from Burleson, Texas. And she comes over here, and she's going to be she's one of those, I feel like probably as soon as she steps on campus, you're going to be seeing her out there in the circle and at the plate. I don't know. There's all these pitchers in this class. Who the heck knows? It's going to be fun to watch them battle it out. But she is technically the highest ranked by 2 or 3 spots. Snyder says she does it all. She pitches, she hits, she plays different positions, and she dominates at all of them. Just say she's good. He said she dominates at all of them. Bailey was a highly sought after recruit, and we are excited to see she will be competing with our ball club for the next 4 years.
That's right. Yeah, she's heavily recruited, but she's a Red Raider, and
she's us.
What a exciting time, and we're starting to see some of that competition, maybe within just like pitching and how that's going to make each other better. Like. This is top tier talent, and they're wearing the scarlet and black. Like what a cool thing to see, and what an impressive monster that we're seeing from what Coach Snyder is talking about. And we've been like we're talking about with Coach Gerlich, like we are trusting the process, and Coach Snyder has not steered us wrong, and it's really cool to see his connection in a variety of different ways, and his connection strong enough to bring in these highly sought after players like Bailey and everybody else on this list.
Yep. Amen. And we have one more, Sydney Schiller, the 18th overall outfield recruit. Another one in the top 20 at the outfield position. So she is from Jordanton, Texas. I don't know where that is. I've never heard that town. East Texas, I'm guessing. Let's go with that.
Look it up.
Yeah, you look it up while I'm reading off the quote. Snyder says, an absolute bulldog. Okay, I already like her. Done. Sold. Okay. An absolute bulldog in the outfield. Sid plays the game hard and is truly a 5-tool player. Wow. She will be a terror on the bases and at the plate for us.
Well,
when he says bulldog in the outfield, you know who that makes me think of?
Who?
Peyton Blythe. Outgoing senior for Texas Tech.
Big fan of Peyton.
We were big Peyton fans, and she was diving. She dove headfirst into a brick wall. In Oklahoma. That sounds like what we got. Another one of those dogs coming in Sydney Schiller out there in the outfield.
Yeah, and we got to talk to Peyton too in one of our interviews, and very telling and how she plays. And so being described in this way, it's a statement, and that's a powerful statement to make. And I looked up where.
Oh, Jordan, I lied. There's one more on this list. I can't count. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I was gonna remind you about it. But yeah, being from a town outside of San Antonio,
Okay.
On the outskirts of San Antonio. But
you get a lot of
Sydney,
Texas Tech athletes from San Antonio. She'll fit right in.
That makes sense for our university. So, a terror on the bases too. I love it. Halloween is my favorite season. So let's get spooky.
Halloween year round.
Year round was,
year-round.
I mean, like Schiller too, like that last name.
Ooh,
dude, that sounds
it is
spooky.
spooky.
Sydney, what's your favorite holiday and why is it Halloween?
Why is it Halloween?
Okay, let's keep moving forward.
And now the last one.
And finish it out with
Haley Tony, a shortstop. That means she's probably
not
an
a pitcher.
We could, she finally gets some infield help. We talked about that. It'd be nice to have a stud shortstop on the team, and that sounds like what we're getting in her 10th overall infielder in the country. I mean, do the math. There's a lot of infielders in the country, and this is just as the infield, and she was the 10th overall one from Magnolia, Texas. Snyder says, I couldn't be more excited about the addition of Haley. She is a power left bat, with plus defense and arm. She is also a huge threat on the base paths. She will make a lot of noise in the Big 12.
we like being rowdy and loud, so
a lot of these players. He says he mentions base paths a lot with these players, which makes me excited because we were not a running team this year. Granted, as we've said before, in our defense, when you're hitting home runs and you're standing on second every game, when do you need to run? So we good. We good. But so we didn't steal a lot of bases. We also didn't have to steal a lot of bases. But it's nice to have that element where, we had a bunch of doubles. It sounds like some of these players will turn those doubles into triples. Some of these players, you bobble it one time in the outfield, that's an inside the park home run. That's right. It kind of sounds like some of these players coming in. So that's fun. So I'm really excited for softball season. We'll start interviewing some of them after the new year, probably, because their season starts in February. They announced their schedule. They started off the season with a tournament over in Florida State. There's going to be some big names in that tournament. So we kind of got teased back in the spring that their schedule this year was going to be not keep them out of the postseason. If they do well, that their RPI should be high enough to get into the postseason play because they're going to challenge themselves as non-con. So it sounds we don't really know who they're playing yet. It just says the tournaments they're in, but they're all solid names. I think it's like Texas State, who's been ranked their tournament, Florida State, who obviously Coach Snyder came from there and won a national championship there with them. So they're going to have good teams in that tournament. So fun times ahead.
Truly.
Not too long.
No sleep for the week. As we finish out one sport, we get to another, and softball, no exception. Let's make some noise. And I think that might be the tagline. So I'm stealing that.
Ooh.
Thanks.
That's going to be
Coach Snyder.
That's going to be our marketing campaign for softball this year.
Make some noise.
Let's make some noise.
Make a lot of noise. Yeah. Okay. Great. Patton. So
all right.
Let's finish it out. Yeah.
Let's round it out with the men on campus. We didn't forget about them. Don't worry, y'all.
We're here.
We watch basketball and football too. So men's basketball started off their season with a couple of wins now, but they had a gritty win yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. Time is what is time against San Jose State, which is a solid team. If you're not aware, they're predicted by a lot of people to make the tournament. So it's kind of a tournament game in that way. We didn't shoot our best. Shots were not falling in this game, but we found a way to win anyway. And that is nice to see in November because these games don't go this way for everyone. Right. You got to have the right players and the right type of players that will just say, oh, man, this is an ugly game. We're playing defense okay. We're doing what we can. We're getting shots. We just can't make them. Well, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to make this extra play on defense, or I'm going to get this charge, or I'm going to get to the free throw line. Like, that's the type of stuff you started seeing at the end of that game, and we pulled away. I think we ended up winning by 14 or 15, but it was very close for a lot of that game. And so we kind of put our heads down and play Texas Tech basketball. Like, it doesn't really matter who the coach is. It always feels like there's that grit, like that's in the dirt type mentality. And McCaslin fits that well, and he's doing well with his team. So they're fun. I love watching Joe Toussaint play the other day. I think he's going to be my favorite player on the team. Just he has that great Asher Chevalier type vibes to him. I think I tweeted like Joe Toussaint plays like someone stole his queso. Like that's how he plays basketball. Like he's just like like mad he just looks mad, and he's like, that you have that ball, that's my ball, like the whole game. And I just love him for it.
That is such a gold quote. He looks playing like somebody stole his queso. I like instantly felt rage in my body, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, you're right. The first half, it was 22-21, and Texas Tech having that 1 point lead and grinding it out and getting to that win over what seemed to be a tough game, but a good game to have and to stay in that win column. So they play, who do they have next? Texas A&M Corpus Christi in Lubbock Thursday in a few days.
I'll be there.
So you're gonna be here.
I'm
like
get
Shelby's
to go to that game.
I
didn't get to watch them play in person yesterday, but I will be on Thursday.
I'm trying to think of maybe like somehow we can get all the sports to play like this week.
They almost all are. Volleyball is unfortunately.
Softball,
well, baseball
out.
played an exhibition today. I didn't know it, or maybe I would have popped over. Could have done it. Softball, where you at?
No kidding. But yeah, lots of good sports, including football. What a Texas Tech classic. Really getting down to the winning to the last drive. And I'm trying to, I don't have the final score. But
we won 16-13, I believe.
Yeah,
it was a barn burner, ladies and gentlemen.
What a tough game. But yeah, run us through football.
Yeah, I obviously it was in Kansas, but I was here and watched it with some people, and we started off great. We went down and scored a touchdown our first drive of the game. You're like, oh, and Kansas's defense is pretty solid, whatever. And we go down there and score like it's nothing, right? Taj Brooks doing what Taj Brooks does. And I think the second drive we get a field goal. All of a sudden we're up 10-0 on the number 16 team in the country. I know it's Kansas, but wake up, people. Kansas is good at football now. It just kind of happened, but they are. And so
we didn't ask for
go
this.
and do that. I think Kansas averages about 30 points a game. And even we did knock out their quarterback, like not literally, but he got injured and had to leave. So we did play the third string quarterback at the end of that game. But even when he was in there, we were shutting him out. He didn't score. So our defense was great. Our defense has been good all year. I don't think they're getting the credit that they deserve because, yeah, they've had moments where they've some WTF plays like what? Like a long touchdown pass here or there. And us as Texas Tech fans, we're just like, man, our defense sucks. Like that's our go-to. It's like, but really they don't. They've just had a couple of plays, which that's just football. Right. It happens. And they've been great this year and they've really kept us in games. Like when is the last time you can be like, we won a game on the road against a top 25 team, only scoring 16 points.
Right. Yeah.
As a Texas Tech fan, like 16 points is like 5 minutes into the first quarter in some eras of Texas Tech football. You know what I mean? But we've also given up 20. You know what I mean? So it's just a different brand of football. Baron Morton, I think there's more going on with that guy than they're letting on, which I get it, rightfully so. Like you shouldn't release players' medicals, but I think that guy's really banged up, and he's just gritting it out. Like they've said shoulder. I think watch him. I'm not going to speculate on what's going on with him, but that man is toughing it out.
He's working through something.
Hits after hits, and he's working through a lot of stuff. And obviously, a shoulder injury is going to make it tough to be a quarterback. But he's gutting it out, and he's back out there, and he played well enough. And then all of a sudden, it's like he's like, "Oh, you need 100% Baron. We have 26 seconds left. It's tied." Going to overtime, probably. Baron's like, no, I can be 100%
sicko mode.
I've gotten 70% Baron because I've been trying to, just make it through the season and have a quarterback out there for y'all. 100% Baron these last 26 seconds. And that was like 3 just great reads, 3 great throws. Again,
wow. Yeah.
Caveat, Kansas was in a prevent defense playing a little bit back, but still he made the throws. He made the reads and the receivers made the plays, and we go down there and get a field goal to win it.
March down.
It was a fun. I wouldn't say fun is the word. It was a gritty game.
Yeah.
That last bit was fun. And then all the stuff afterwards. This team seems like they're starting to gel. And there's a cool video that someone posted. It's viral. Go find it. A lot of people have shared it. of the team afterwards a cappella singing the entire fight song themselves. Like there's not a band there to do it for them. Like they're just like they stopped, went over to whatever Tech fans were there, and they sang the Matador song. So it was all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a beautiful showcase of this was what we were hoping for, y'all. Like this is a top 25 opponent that we went to their house and took care of business. And I like that last drive. It's like, okay, grown. This is where we lose it, right? Like typical Texas Tech, we might have some of those doubts, but we stayed true to us, and Baron Morton having such an incredible, strong performance. And in that last drive, like that's in my opinion, such a special sports memory, a sports act and moment. And we're really lucky to have seen this. And this is what we were hoping for. This was all the hype. This was what we were wanting. So like, let's go, baby, like turn it up. And I've always appreciated, I've seen some Tech fans that have been like optimistic, like, yeah, okay, we understand where we went wrong, we lost, off on to the next. So getting to see the players also kind of gelling more with each other too is special. And again, this is what we wanted, and we're getting to see it. So let's go, baby. Who's next?
Well, UCF is next. Central Florida, new team into the Big 12. A lot of people would have been like, "Oh, that's an easy win." Then they went out and beat Oklahoma State. What is Oklahoma State ranked? 15th or 17th?
I think it was.
They just beat OU.
-15. Yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to the mental side of the game. They're like, that was like the biggest win in program history. Those players were probably, unfortunately, partying all week. Like their fans were tearing down goalposts, and there was talk show after talk show talking about them, and like banners being hung for winning one game. And I get it. Listen, if we beat Texas in that way at the end of the season, like that's the same level of rivalry they got going, and there's bad blood there, and OU's leaving. It's the last time that game's ever happened. I get why that was such a big win, and they should have celebrated it.
Yeah.
They clearly did not prepare well for this game on the road against UCF, and UCF said, well, we're not going to take it easy on you, and demolished them.
Just totally wrecked them. And
now we get to play them.
Now we get that. But, better that we're coming off a win than a loss. And
we're not going to overlook them. That's not going to be our problem. But in also fairness to UCF, they've been playing without their starting quarterback for much of the year. Naturally, he's back, and that helped them as well, just in time for us. Lucky us. Yeah. So it'll be a good game. It's great that it's at home. And it's a weird start time. It's a 4 p.m. Central start time.
It'll be dark in an hour, just
which I think is maybe what they were going for there. Maybe Fox or whatever channel wanted it to be an afternoon game, and we haggled to make it 4 so they could still do the light show and the drones and all that. I don't know. 4 p.m. is the East Coast thing to me, not a Central time start. But we're gonna take it. I'm excited to be there for at least the fourth quarter in a night game. And the Jones has been a bit. It's senior day as well, so go out. I think there's only a few tickets left. The fans have responded from the win and are going out to support them, so I love it. Senior day, there's a lot of really great seniors on this team that have done good stuff for this program. So they'll all be honored before the game. And also, if you win this game, you're bowl eligible. And it's not been the season that we wanted, but being bowl eligible in college football is a bit of a cheat code because it means you get to practice more. So if you don't get a bowl game, your season is done at the end of this, while all your competitors and your rivals are getting 4 more weeks of practice, and that is huge in college sports. So I don't care what bowl we're playing. It can be the toilet bowl. I don't care. You just want to be in a bowl so you can get those extra practices in.
I don't know what else
to
say.
My take on it. So win that. You also have a chance to win it at Texas at the end of the year, but that's obviously going to be a tougher game. But hey, never say never. Let's do that. Be 7-5. Go win your bowl game. All of a sudden, you have the exact same record that you had last year at the end of the year.
Bada bing, bada boom. What a great ending to that. So show out. We listed it all for you. But if you want to go check out our social media, that's probably a great way to continue to stay updated. We'll let you know where they're playing, when they're playing. And yeah, thanks for hanging around with us for close to 2 hours. This sounds great. Right on par for us. And
Yeah.
I don't know, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's good. Yeah, we're in like the heat of. There's so many sports going on right now. Some of these are going to start dropping off, and we'll be able to do more kind of.
Not anytime soon.
Like we were like, man, soccer and volleyball had all our coverage for a while, and then all these other sports are here. So it'll move out, and we'll shift accordingly as we keep going. But I hope it's a wow for soccer.
That's what I'm saying. Oh,
be there on Friday. We'll see you there at 6:00. NCAA postseason game. Get out to John Walker. Whether you've been there before or not, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to come back again. That's right. Trust me. Good time. So that's all I got.
Wreck 'em, y'all.
Wreck 'em.